In this video, you're going to learn about how to create a feedback-forward culture. And I am going to give you some step-by-step instructions on how to do that. The first thing is this term that a lot of people are talking about right now called psychological safety. But a lot of people get this wrong. They think that psychological safety means just making sure that everything's politically correct and that everything's just kind of PC and above board. That's not true. Psychological safety is how things will actually get done around your organization. So what that means is people feel safe to speak up, to say, hey, I don't think we're going in the right direction here, or I made a mistake. How do I move forward? If people don't feel safe to speak up in those environments, how could you expect a culture to thrive? How could you expect a culture to move forward? So people first have to feel the psychological safety to speak up, to make mistakes, and to not feel like they're going to be ridiculed or mocked when they do speak up. So that's the first thing in creating a feedback-rich culture. The second thing is, this is something that's kind of new that I am really excited about. I'm seeing a lot of the really innovative teams doing, and that's just creating this space for feedback. I'm calling it a conflict lab. Create a space for people to actually give feedback and have a conflict. We are so tired of moving away from conflict when we should be moving toward conflict and using conflict to propel our cultures. If no one's talking about the hard things, if no one is giving candid feedback to each other, we're not moving forward. A conflict lab is a great way to create a feedback-rich organization. And if you're interested in learning more about that and how you can set up a conflict lab within your organization, down below there's a link to a template that I've created to help you walk through your company's first conflict lab. One of my daughter's friends and her got into a conflict, and it was a great thing for my husband and the parents of the other child to see how they came together and actually worked it out. The other girl wrote my daughter a letter and said, like, hey, these are the things that happened. This is how it made me feel. This is what I would like to see happen in the future. And it was beautiful. We were like, this is amazing. They should teach these things in school. And so when my daughter received the email or my daughter received the letter, and she made a video like answering all of the questions and responding to the girls' comments in the letter. And it was just a beautiful way of conflict not being scary and it being supported in a very, I guess, what environment, what am I thinking? The conflict was supported in a loving environment. And the third thing is if 1 and 2 don't work, just keep trying. The first 2 are so important that I don't want you to go to a third thing. The first thing is psychological safety. That is so important in an organization. It has to be there in order for a company to truly thrive and actually learn something from the feedback. And that second one, actually moving toward conflict, you can't get away from it. People are more outspoken than ever right now. So we should embrace it and see how we can learn from conflict with each other. And to summarize everything that I've said in this video, a conflict lab is extremely important for any company to implement. However, you have to have psychological safety in order to make the conflict lab work. If people get into the lab and they still don't really feel safe to speak up, then we're all just wasting our time. So first has to come psychological safety, and then has to come a way for people to truly have conflict and feel good about it. My name is Dr. Julia, and I'd love to be on this journey with you as you create a positive culture in your organization. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.